So I've been living in my van full time for the past 9 months, and I've been working on dialing in the gear that I need. The problem was I just had way too much stuff coming from a 1-bedroom apartment, and trying to fit everything that you could possibly need into a medium-sized cargo van is just straight up challenging since I've never been minimalist before. Figuring out how to be minimalist if you've never done it before is incredibly hard, and when you buy a van, it kind of forces you to do it. So here are 5 tips to help you become a better minimalist and maximize the space in your van. The first thing that you want to do is get rid of any doubles you might have. While there are some essential emergency items that you might want to have laying around, the reality is you don't need that for every single thing. One of the items that I found that I had too many of was candles. And I just had way too many candles. I had 3 of these. There's just no real reason. I just like this for comfort. This crackles, I like to read to it. It's just getting out of that mindset of having to hoard so much and have backups of every single thing that even non-emergent items, like non-emergent comfort items like this candle or towels or something like that, you only need so many of them, and then you can either just do a little extra laundry or just buy another candle once it's out. Once this candle's out, you can just go to the store and get a new one. I think a good example of something to have doubles of would be extra batteries or even an extra lighter. With the lighter, I need to rely on that to cook my food. I have my stove in the back and I need that to light the propane. So having an extra lighter would be good just in case something happens to this one. That way I can make sure I have a hot meal. A little charging cord for this headlamp would be good so that you can see in the dark, especially during the winter since our light is so much less than it is during the summer. The next thing is clothing. Clothing and shoes I found can take up so much space, and before you know it, there's just clutter and clothes and shoes everywhere, and it's not very fun to try to find your stuff in like a mountain of clothes. So I found that setting aside a limited amount of space for clothes goes a long way in preventing that problem. And I like to use these 40-quart Sterlite boxes to fit all of my clothes in. I found that by having this intense of a limited amount of space, I can fit all 4 seasons of clothing and shoes and stuff that I need in here. Max that I'll have is 3 pairs of shoes. One just for deep winter snow, mountaineering type stuff, just these regular shoes, and then I might have some workout shoes or maybe shower shoes. With my clothing options, I purposely picked 4-season versatile things that can be modular or adapted with the changing of the seasons. I find that I can get through every season comfortably by having clothing that is very adaptable to the conditions that are present in the climate that I live in. Depending on where you are in your climate region, you might want to dedicate maybe an extra half box to maybe you want 3 boxes of clothes. I found that even with this 2-box limitation that I can stay comfortably warm even in cold winters. It's also really important to hold on to identification like your passport, social security card, or ID, anything that helps identify you as a person. So what I like to do is I like to stash all of my identification and everything I need in a little folder like this, and that way I'm able to find everything that I need in a very short amount of time. Some examples of things that I don't keep are birthday cards, seasonal items, things that just take up way too much space and you just don't really need to hold on to. What I like to do with these things is I just like to either take pictures of them or upload into the cloud, or I'll just keep it on a picture on my phone. And doing things like that, I found it's a really good way to save space, but still be able to keep the memories and things that I want to keep up with. Or if I need to write back somebody with a card, I can just do that, but I don't have to hold on to it in a physical space. It's just on my phone or somewhere in the cloud. One of the things that has really helped me, I found, is you really want to be able to work in steps. I wasn't able to do this all in one day. There were a lot of things that I had to sleep on. For example, I started with a really big, like 15 by 15 storage unit, and then I eventually got rid of some items, sold some items, donated some items, and then from there, I had downgraded to a 5x10, did a couple months with a 5x10, got rid of more stuff, did it in steps. Now I'm down to a 5x5 and I'm working on getting rid of more stuff. By no means do you have to get rid of everything all at once, although that can work. Some people might find it easier and better to do it in steps, kind of like I did. I found that the more that I sleep on some of the items and I really think about all the stuff that I need to take, do I need this, do I need that? I found that if you sleep on some ideas and items and you wake up the next day or a week or a month or however long you need to think about it, you will find that there's stuff that you haven't touched and then you don't even think about that's just sitting in your storage unit. It's really taken a lot of time and work and thinking about what I'm going to need in the future. And sometimes you can't decide in all at one moment what you're going to want to hold on to. Sometimes you're gonna have to just sleep on it. And I think I really had good success with this by doing this in steps, by going from a large storage unit to a medium-sized storage unit to this small 5x5. And thinking about this 3-tier system of what am I gonna hold on to, what am I giving away, and then what am I selling? I think it really helps to simplify and give you time and space to think about what you're gonna need to hold on to and what you're gonna wanna give away or sell. And it really is determined by the needs of what you see yourself doing in the future and maybe what environment that you're deciding to go to. My final tip is that you just want to clean up after yourself as soon as you're done. For example, the first thing that I do when I wake up for the day is I make my bed. I put all my dishes away once I'm done eating. I clean up after everything. Every single thing in my van now has a place, a specific place where if I have to try to find it in the dark, I can find it pretty easily. For me, there's just no better feeling than coming home from work after a long, busy day to a nice home that's made and ready for me to use. I can just get right in bed, put on my audiobook, light a candle. It's a great night. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Check out this next video over here, where I go into an in-depth review of my full van build. I'll see you over there.